Yields. I now recognize Ms. Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas, the gentlelady from Texas, for her 5 minutes of questioning.
Mr. Chairman, I thank you for yielding. I almost don't know where to start, and certainly will find the 5 minutes to be underwhelming in terms of the time that I need. I do want to express my solemnity and humbleness and expression of appreciation for having the honor of serving on this committee, even in the midst of the horrific 9/11. It seems that this committee always rises to the occasion to be the problem solvers. And I clearly am someone who has lived the immigration story coming from Texas, and I would certainly have a different view than my friend and colleague who has just spoken about the actions that have been taken as children and families have been manipulated as if they are inhuman. I do think that one of the highest callings of this committee is, in fact, to do the bidding of solving the nation's immigration problems. And as a member of the Judiciary Committee, I have over the years introduced comprehensive immigration reform legislation year after year after year. And so I am certainly willing and able to be part of the solution for the 3 attorney generals, of which I am a lawyer, certainly served in capacities to realize the important work that you do. But I must join in the sadness of this day. The sadness of this day because it is not constitutionally grounded, it is not constitutionally sound, it is not going to save any lives at all, and there is nothing that you have put forward today that evidences in any way a impeachable offense by Secretary Mayorkas, the first immigrant to serve in this position. A dislike of the president's policy is not a basis for impeachment. A basis for impeachment is corruption, abuse of power, betrayal of the nation. And that is, of course, allegations. You, as witnesses, I am sorry to say, Mr. Chairman, have borne no testimony that indicates that Secretary Mayorkas has done any of that. So I thank the ranking member for his earlier eloquent words on this shameful, fraudulent impeachment inquiry, where we are not fixing the immigration issues that my constituents in Houston need. At the onset, I'm reminded of the words of the Representative Barbara Jordan, complete difference from what I heard her quoted before. I know that she did an excellent job in trying to frame the immigration issues of years past. My predecessor represented Houston like I do. She endorsed me, glad to say a mentor. Like her, my faith in the Constitution is whole. It is complete, it is total. And I'm not going to sit here and be an idle spectator of the diminution, the subversion, the destruction of the Constitution. Because the Constitution said to create a more perfect union, to instill justice. That is what this inquiry is, a diminution, a subversion, and a destruction of the Constitution of the United States. I cannot stand for that. Mr. Chairman, impeachment is one of the absolute powers Congress has to ensure against an executive might, as James Madison explained at the Constitutional Convention, quote, pervert his administration into a scheme of speculation or oppression. The men present in Philadelphia some 236 years ago were deliberate. They were intentional. They were exacting in their draft of the Constitution that has guided us forever. These are their words and the words of our Constitution, the legal standard by which we are solemnly consider whether to exercise this extraordinary power. Article 2, Section 4 guides, and I quote, the President, Vice President, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for the conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. That is our standard. Treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors. Professor Bowman, in your review of Congressman Green's impeachment resolution, which was referred to this committee, and in your review of the various reports by committee Republicans, have you identified any actions by Secretary Mayorkas that reached the constitutional threshold of impeachment, treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors? Professor?
No.
In all of the reports, have you seen any evidence of such? The reports you've been able to secure or the reports that I brought your attention to?
I've seen lots of reports about arguments about policy. I've seen nothing that rises to the level of an impeachable offense.
And so, Mr. Chairman, if the Constitution is to be our guide, we must end this political stunt that seeks to impeach an officer of the United States because an extremist minority of the House of Representatives does not agree with the policies of this president or that he carries out. Let's work with these attorney generals to solve the real problems, to not incarcerate children, to separate them from their family. Treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors is our legal standard. It is clear. That is the basis from which we must proceed. That is the constitutional bar you have failed to reach. We created this book, as they say, to create a more perfect union and to establish justice. Gentlemen, you have law degrees and have taken an oath as I have, and you've taken an oath to procure the rights of your citizens. Please sit with us to establish justice for all of America, for the work you do, and for those who come to seek a better life. However they come, we may perceive in a different light, but let us do it in perceiving justice. You hurt me, you hurt my heart, you hurt what Barbara Jordan stood for. You diminish this book and these words by sitting here today to suggest that Secretary Mayorkas must be, in fact, impeached because of policies that we disagree with. May God continue to guide us in our work so that we can do what we have been assigned to do. With that, I yield back.